Good morning everyone, welcome back to the finca. It's a beautiful day actually, which makes a change. We've had so much rain. On the video last time we managed to get quite a big chunk of the floor done. So Angie's going to be carrying on with that over this side, and I'm going to start sealing these tiles. As always, we like to get them sealed before we get them pointed. As you know, we always favour linseed oil for sealing everything really. It's fantastic stuff. In the past we've just used it neat, so straight out the tin. We've actually read the instructions for a change. We don't often do that, and it does actually say to dilute it 50-50 with this stuff, which is terps. Has to be the pure one. We understand that terps is derived from pine oil. We don't quite know how, but it is. It's completely pure and natural. And so we're going to try it on those stones because there's a lot of them, and they do absorb very well, so obviously it'll make the linseed oil go a lot further. I've already got in here 250 ml of linseed oil. I've got a bottle we've already started on, and I'm literally going to put 250 ml of terps, give it a good mix, and see how it goes. Nothing to lose. So there we go. We get a good mix. And go try. Off we go. Incidentally, just because I've just cleaned my brush, I've got just neat terps on my hands, and I've always wondered why it was oily, because it's supposed to be a dissolvent. It all makes sense now because it's made from pine oil. So there we go. Anyway, I'm off. I'm going to go just up to this row here. I'd like to do a square starting at the edge of the cupboard, just so that we know where we've been. We should be able to tell, but because it's much thinner, I want to make sure I know where I'm up to, so that's going to be my defining line for this morning anyway. Let's have a go. A lot thinner than what I'm used to. Seems to be going on all right.
Right, so I'm going to start over this side today. Get to the problematic wall. It's problematic because it angles in quite a lot. We've no idea why it does. So it must have been drunk when they built it maybe. So I'm going to get these first ones in and then work out what we're going to do down this wall. We've got an idea, we talked about it, so let's do it. Get them in. All the junk on the junk shelf. There we go. Lovely. Carry on.
I've done all that area there. I'm just working my way. I'm going to finish there just so that we do know where we're up to, because it's drying very quickly. I guess that's the terps. So it's going to get confusing otherwise. I don't know where we're up to. But it's going on a lot quicker and a lot easier than linseed oil on its own. So if it does the job, it's a great time saver. And don't know why we didn't read the instructions before really, but that's what we do, just get on and do things and then discover afterwards.
Right, so we've got all them in, we've got to the problematic bit now. We've been debating what to do with this, how to do this, but I think I'm just going to cut diagonals, have to cut them down to fit at the side, down the edge there. They're going to disappear slowly because it tapers all the way down. You won't see that because it'll be behind the chair. And we've wanted to keep the pattern kind of the same at the top. I don't think it so much matters about this edge being a bit different from that one because it's onto a stone wall, whereas that's onto a plastered wall as well. So we haven't got a lot of choice. The room's tapered. It is what it is. We have to deal with it the best we can. So I'm going to do these cuts as I go along. Fortunately, the nice man at the builders merchants gave us a few broken ones that are probably no good to sell. So he donated them to us. We want to cut that edge. Another reason for doing it this way, because if you get a cut edge against the natural edge, it doesn't look quite right at the end. So we're going to cut this one down to fit in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over, offer it up to where we want it that way, getting my head in the way, making sure I'm clear of these bits of mortar. I have to knock them off. There. I'm just going to mark it, leaving myself a decent ground gap there, and on the back where I can't see very well at all. There. So we'll join them dots together, cut that, then when we flip it over, it's narrower at this end, it's wider at that end. That should fit nicely in there. That's the theory anyway. So as opportunity would have it, we were contacted by a company called Graph, offering us to review their cutting discs. They do cutting discs for stone and concrete, cutting discs for ceramic tile. They're for the 5-inch grinder. This one's for the big grinder, which I'm going to use because these won't quite fit through there cleanly. What they will do when we come to do the marble, which we're going to have a lot of cutting to do on as well. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic, all very nice stuff. Tells you which rotation, maximum speeds, all the usual stuff you'd expect with a cutting disc. So I'm going to stick it in the grinder and see what happens. Hello Tabby Cat, a little tabby visitor here. I'll find a button. Press the button in. It's not easy doing this standing up here. There we go. Right, let's have a go. Like a knife through butter. It's actually broken, well that's not the fault of the disc. There's little, if you can see, you get little fracture lines in them because they're handmade, but it's right against the wall, it's not going to be seen, so it's just going to go in like that. You can't even see the crack, rather than cutting another one and wasting another tile. So happy days, let's go and have a look. I'm actually just going to super glue this together, done this before. Secret trick of the trade. You'll never be able to tell. There we go. I'm sure I've not glued it to the, to the workbench. We'll leave that for a few minutes and then crack on with it, see what we've got. There we go, perfect. Very nice cut, very easy, very smooth. They're actually diamond cutting blades, self-sharpening ones, because the whole width of the thing around the outside is encrusted with diamonds, so as it wears down there's still more diamonds exposed. That's the other one that fits in there nicely, and you can use them wet and dry as well. Obviously I'm using them dry. Whether we'll use them wet when we come to do the marble or not, we don't know. We were in mixed about that last time, but yeah, super happy days, make light work of it. Just need to get a mix on now, get some more tiles in. I'm not doing a mix just for those, but we're completely out of sand, so we need to go and get some. Lovely. So just up the level on, I'm ever so slightly running off here, a couple of millimetres. So I'm going to correct that, and I'm going to continue this roll down to the end there. I might have to get the second level out and put them in two different directions. Make it a bit easier. So I'll get these in. Of course I can't use my level to level them now. I'll have to use this one. Typical. Bit more underneath it. Right, so we're nearly there. These graft discs are serving me well. I'll have to take the corner off that and then cut a little piece there to drop in there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more and that bit that I want to get in today, and it's getting late now, I've had enough. But if I get these up to here, we can get, that's almost over half of it done, just about, or maybe half of it done. We can get this all oiled and sealed as well. So last mix for today. We will of course put a link below to the Graph Amazon page, where there's a little code as well. If you enter that code on checkout, you can get it. You'll get a discount for our viewers only. So have a look, see what they got. They are fantastic. Just really happy with them. So yeah, go and bag yourself some if you're going cutting stone or tiles. So there we go, it's really coming along. Of course, because we decided to go right up to the walls with the tiles, we're going to need some more. There's about 10 left maybe. So I need to have a workout now. We need to get some more, work out how many I need, and keep cracking on. Calculated, we need about another 100 tiles to finish this, which is a staggering amount. But as you said, we were going to put stones around the outside. Now we're not, so it's not a problem. I can't go and get them today because Sharon's back at the dentist for a checkup. All's well with the tooth. Thank you for your kind comments. What I want to try and do is make a bracket to clamp this flue pipe to the back of the chimney there. Because when we take, obviously we're going to need to take this out. Stove needs a bit of refurb work doing on it, and all these walls in here need finishing, and this needs painting. So what I want to do is put a clamp bracket about up there, so when we do take it out, it'll hold that firmly in place exactly where I want it to be. I made a similar for the upstairs flue, inside, and there's one above the roof as well. Bent the bracket in the press, I curved it. I can't remember how I curved it. I must have used something to form the radius, but I can't find anything, so I'm going to make myself hopefully a permanent flue bracket bending tool for the press. What I'm going to do, I've cut, this is the actual flue, the actual size of it, which is going to press down on my metal to bend to form the shape. Obviously it's very thin and flimsy, so what I want to do is beef it up. I'm going to fill it full of concrete basically, but I'm going to set in a piece of rebar sticking out, and then I can put this socket on the end. Always keep your old sockets for the press. The socket will go on the bottom of the press, on the press plug thing, and then press on this and hopefully press it all down to give me enough to bend the thing. It actually wants to be that way, so this runs right through, again giving it some additional strength. So all I need to do is cut this off now, because that's the kind of length that I want. There, make a hole through the top there, insert the rod through my hole and fill it full of concrete. That's how we go. It should work. One way to find out though. The press is great, we make all sorts with it, make them bend all kinds of things. I'll just mark this first, that way. As you will see in a bit, Right, that's been cut. Let's do it. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do this, but it's so flimsy in a piece like that. I'm just going to start off thin. Maybe we use one that's sharp. We've got a hole. Gradually getting bigger. Until we get up to, I think it's a 12 or 13 mil rebar that we've got. Nearly there. There we go, it's going slowly. 13 millimeters that is. It is going, it will go, there we go. Right, so that goes through there. I can then, my socket will then sit on top of there. I'm just going to check the line. Actually, I can always cut it down after. So when the pressure goes on there, this will be full of concrete. That'll be taking the load directly onto the bottom. This is the theory. So I'll do a little mix and fill it up. See what happens then. I put a clamp across that to stop it moving. And it's on a piece of plastic so it doesn't stick to the bench. Right, I need a bit more. There we go. I need to let that go off now. I just chopped up some old bits of steel to make a jig for it, a cradle for it. Two big pieces at the side, and these have these bits of angle just welded across them to hold them together. That distance is slightly wider than that, so when that goes in, you put your bar to bend across there and then press that down on top of it. As that comes down, it should bend the bar to the desired radius, circumference, bend. So I'm just going to tack these together and then weld them up fully. There we go. That's done, that'll sit in there. The piece of steel will go across there. Obviously I need to drop this down a bit. My new piece that I'm waiting to set will go down there, and as the ram comes down it should bend it. That's the theory anyway. So we'll have to wait for it to dry obviously, and then we can try it. So there we go, once again waiting for things to dry. But yeah, that'll be another good job to get done. The press, we use it for lots of things, but what a valuable thing it is. I've made all kinds of jigs for bending angles, curves, for different things, and now hopefully for the flue pipe, 120mm flue pipe. So I'm going to call it a day there. I can't do a lot else until things dry, until we get the car back and we get some more of these bricks. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything and really helps us out. Thanks of course to everyone who supported the channel, all our Patreons, and we'll see you on the next one.